Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user Hokey Pokey Guest List. Would I be the a-hole if I declined a wedding invitation after accepting, but didn't send a present? My partner, Martin, took me out to dinner to meet his close friend Andy and Andy's fiancée, Anna. I thought we got along well, and Andy said he hoped to see me as a guest at his wedding. Martin, Andy, and Anna all work for the same employer. Martin is part of the employer's leadership group, but neither Andy nor Anna are in his reporting line. Also, these are all fake names and the timeline of events is compressed. So, to the matter at hand. Martin's invitation was addressed to him and guest. He accepted for both of us. A week later, he told me about a phone call from Anna. Apparently, she'd miscalculated the number of guests they could have at the venue, and would I mind terribly if she cut me from the guest list. Apparently, Anna was too embarrassed to ask me herself. Since we'd only just met, it seemed reasonable I was one of the guests to be cut. I asked Martin to tell them personally that I understood and pass on my best wishes. Then, Andy called me and said he hadn't known about the issue with the venue, but some of his older relatives were declining due to health fears, so he would invite me personally. My invitation arrived in the mail with my name on it and I accepted. That's when things got weird. I bumped into Anna when we were both out shopping. She said we hadn't seen each other since the time we had dinner and if I had time for a coffee. I said yes, and after we got our coffees and sat down, Anna said, "Can't you take a hint?" I asked what she meant. Anna said wasn't it obvious she didn't want me at her wedding? She understood I was unfamiliar with wedding etiquette and how things are done in this country, but the polite thing to do was decline the invitation and send a present. I told Martin about this, and Martin told me about a similar incident at work. A work friend of Anna's had confronted him about my rudeness. According to the friend, Anna was just inviting me to be polite to the boss's girlfriend, and I should be just as polite in declining the invitation. We talked it over, and I am not comfortable going. Martin is going to talk to Andy in person and ask what's going on before he decides what to do. The issue is, should I give them a present? All of the wedding etiquette guides I've consulted say that if you decline a wedding invitation after accepting, you should send a present. But frankly, I feel like I'm being used, and giving them both a present feels like I'm saying I'm okay with that. I've asked some of my family members if I would be the a-hole, but let's just say they're biased and probably spend too much of their time on pro-revenge or malicious compliance. Really, would I be the a-hole if I declined this wedding invitation but didn't give the couple a present? What? This is just very weird, OP. First of all, I don't get this wedding etiquette thing, so in my opinion, no, you are not the a-hole, and here's my reasoning. The bride demanded that you take a hint and decline the invitation. Maybe you should send a present if you voluntarily declined the invitation because, I don't know, something came up. Health, whatever, doesn't really matter. Something came up, you can't go to the wedding. Sure, then you send a present if you had previously accepted. But in this case, the bride sat you down, told you can't you take a hint and you have to decline the wedding invitation? But that you are still expected to send a present? What? F that, no way I'm sending a present. I couldn't care less what all the etiquette manuals are saying. Whatever. Oh man, some people are ridiculous. So in summary, OP, no, you wouldn't be the a-hole. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see their judgments. Cheesy DM McGee says, not the a-hole and F etiquette. You originally didn't give a crap about going or not going. But now that the bride has been such an a-hole about this, my only advice would be to ghost them completely and forget about any gift. No need to discuss this further. If you and your boyfriend end up being an item, you can be cordial briefly if you see them while together out and about in public. But other than that, I would not speak another word to her again, and I would decline any plans going forward with them. Not getting invited is no big deal. Her actions, however, are an uncalled for insult, and the only response is to live your life as if she doesn't exist. Karen Maka says, not the a-hole, it is BS that if you decline you are supposed to give a gift, especially in this situation where Anna didn't want you to go at all and only gave you a BS invitation to pretend she was nice. Even if it was a real invitation, the only time you might give a gift is if you are actually close to the couple and couldn't make it due to unforeseen circumstances. If it really were a thing that if you declined you had to give a gift, people would abuse this, invite lots of people they know won't or can't come just to get gifts. Jesus23 says, not the a-hole. I'm shocked and was blindsided by the "can't you take a hint?" hand on chest and gasping. Lol, where in the name of the creator are you getting these "this is the right thing to do if you have accepted the invitation"? Lol, I, in my 34 years of life, have never heard of this. As the years go on, I'm hearing the strangest things these kids are making the right thing to do is. Lol, decline and decide what you want to do. At this point, who wants to go to a villain's wedding? The way these people behave, I'm sure this wedding will not go smoothly. Lol. Additional information from OP's comments. In my experience, the first time I got married, we were poor students. Or rather, I was a poor student, he was a job-hunting recent graduate. We didn't expect presents because all of our friends were just as poor as we were. But we were so grateful for anything we got. Then, the second time around, we didn't care about presents either. We were adults and had everything we needed. We really only got married because it gave me certain rights in my late husband's country. I've told Martin I'm not comfortable attending now, and he's more than okay with that. On the face of it, it doesn't look as though Andy and Anna are on the same page. Also, I've only met Andy and Anna in person one time. Andy and I got along well, and I thought I got along well enough with Anna, but not to the same extent as Andy. At the same time, I just thought, well, some people take longer to warm up. One of my sisters is just like that. Martin and Andy are friends outside of work. They originally met through work and did work closely together for a time, which is how they became such good friends. They have both moved onwards and upwards since then, but stay close. Like I said in my post, Martin is now part of the leadership team at his work, so he is Andy and Anna's senior, but neither of them are his direct reports, so he doesn't have any direct influence on their careers. So Martin is a boss, but he's no longer Andy's boss, or even Anna's. We are all employed in the public sector. Andy, Anna, and Martin are with one employer and I am at another. They are permanent employees and you can't just sack someone because they're being a bit of an a-hole. They need to be in breach of employment conditions and follow the appropriate procedures. Having said that, Anna probably is close to a slap on the wrist at work. I mean, if you invite the boss's girlfriend to be polite, then I think you have to be prepared to accept the possibility that she, or me in this case, might actually say yes, and then slagging the boss's girlfriend off at work? How does that make you look to the boss? This is my opinion only, based on what would happen in my workplace. No actual idea about Martin's workplace. Anyway, I am having trouble understanding this social situation. Maybe Anna doesn't understand why she invited me. Okay, well, the community thinks that OP wouldn't be the a-hole, and then we got some more context. Now, OP has given us 2 more posts regarding this situation. One answering a lot of questions and sharing with us her family's input in this matter, and the other one with an update that ends the story. So let's move on with the first one. I'm about to start doing my evening chores, but before I go, I want to answer some of the most frequently asked questions. What country is this in? We're in Australia. Of the 4 of us, I am the only one born and raised in Australia. Anna came here as a child, Andy and Martin as adults. Why would I think I should give them a present? My mom. She was a shining example of being polite and gracious in the face of outrageous behavior, without condoning it. I guess I want to emulate her, but I just have no idea what the polite and gracious response is in this situation. I am getting some clearer ideas though. What is Martin doing? Martin hasn't decided yet. He wants to talk to Andy and find out how much Andy knows and how far he is supporting Anna. Then he will decide. He may still go to support Andy, or he may not. Why is Anna doing this? I have no idea, but I have some guesses. My guess is she wants Martin's gift, but with Martin's and my budget, I think she was hoping I would supersize the gift and take it from the box standard model to the super deluxe shiny model with bells and whistles and hot and cold running water. Why doesn't Anna like you? Again, no idea, but some guesses. I am from a different religion to the other 3, so she might not like that. My mom arrived here as a child refugee, so she might be anti-refugee. And Martin and I out-earn Andy and Anna, so she might be jealous. I didn't get a sense that Andy developed a crush on me. We were predisposed to like each other because we both know how important the other is to Martin. I didn't get a sense that Anna disliked me at our meeting. My impression at the time was she might be slow to warm up, but I could be wrong. Probably was. What are some of my family's suggestions? Evil Sister says, seriously, a generous donation to a charity of the groom's choice. That way, I look polite and generous, the bride doesn't benefit, and as other Redditors have pointed out, some good comes of this. Evil Sister says, not seriously, closer to the day, pretend I have symptoms of you know what, and I have to stay home until I get a negative test. On the day of the wedding, post pictures of myself on social media doing fabulous things, not at their wedding, and captioning them, celebrating my negative test. Not quite as an Evil Sister says, crochet toilet roll cover, preferably one with a doll on it, practical with a retro feel. She has one ripe for regifting. And my brother says that he doubts they would make it to the altar, but he suggested an IOU to the groom for a present at his next wedding. Now I'm off to brave the hell that is my local supermarket, then treat myself to a nice takeaway for dinner. Now we have to wear masks indoors, so I have the perfect excuse not to recognize Anna if I see her. Okay, so I'm guessing by now you guys are ready to end this story with the update, so let's finish off with that. So much has happened in the past. Is it really just over a week? It feels much longer. The nutshell version of what happened in that time is Andy and Anna did have communications issues, they are working on them, and their wedding is still on. Martin and I have split. The wedding is none of my business anymore. I hope everyone has a great time and there are no hard feelings. The fuller version goes like this. Anna was very close to Martin's late wife and saw her as an older sister figure. Having a virtual stranger at her wedding in her friend's place was too much. Andy says Anna knows she acted immaturely and she is deeply ashamed of some of the things she said to me. There was a lot more said, which I swore never to repeat. I understand a lot more now and I regret some of the jokes I made. I've decided to forgive. Martin and I aren't together anymore, not directly because of this, but when we considered who Martin was most concerned about, not me, and who I turned to for support, not him, we realized we weren't each other's priority. I had a little cry about it, but I'll be okay. So, as it turns out, my brother was right, in an unexpected way, but he won't be rejoicing at being proved right. The wedding is none of my business now, and I won't be attending or sending a present, but I do hope everyone has a great time. Life is going on. My youngest got sent home from school because he was sick, so we spent a couple of days vegging on the couch together in our PJs, looking completely feral, watching the Brokenwood Mysteries. He loves the one where the murder weapon is an exploding portaloo, and the one the suspects try to escape in a hot air balloon. If anyone wants a love story that isn't Andy and Anna, my sister is reveling in her new role as Evil Sister. She's thinking of taking up cackling in public. Her partner says he wants to take her name so he can be evil brother-in-law and they can cackle away in public together. That's love. Thank you to everyone who read my earlier posts, commented, bantered with me, and gave me awards. I was expecting maybe a couple of comments and hoping someone would explain the etiquette and I would go, oh yeah, I see that now. I got so much more than what I was expecting. I had no idea how much stress I was carrying in my body over the original problem until I started laughing and making wisecracks with commenters. Then my tension headache disappeared, the headache I didn't even know I had. I really think you guys helped cushion me for what was coming. Alright OP, I guess the problem was solved and some people learned some lessons, like Andy and Anna need to communicate better. Sad to know that your relationship with Martin ended, but you seem to be doing okay, so that's good. Thank you for sharing OP and take care. Now, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user TigerDragon180. You can't quit on a Friday. This was from my last job, global financial firm with initials MS. I was a contractor in the IT department there for over a year, had a lot of complaints against them. Original manager forgot to file paperwork costing me a free position. Overworked a culture that tried to sell more work as being a sign of praise rather than pay you to do more work, etc. Well, it was time for me to move on. I'd scored a great state job, better pay, great benefits, still work from home, and even then the office was even closer. All around, they wouldn't be able to compete. They were aware of this for about 2 months as they almost sank it by dragging their heels on some verifications like employment verification. I even flat out told my manager I'd be leaving at the end of the month. Finally, had my official start date. Gave a bit over 2 weeks notice to quit on a Friday so I could start my first day on Monday. Here is where stupidity begins. This place has the policy to run all software updates on Sunday, so every Monday is hell. Everything is broken due to poor quality assurance, all hands on deck. If you call off, they are going to fight you, etc. They like to bully people, and everyone who left had some attempt to get them to stay longer, and it has sadly worked. People don't get how little power they actually have. So my time came. The manager calls me up, goes on and on with his BS, tell me it's not proper etiquette to give only 2 weeks notice. Since when? That I should know it takes a minimum of 3 weeks to complete training, so I should know they can't replace me in time. You had 1 or 2 months already. And how can I do this to my coworkers? I'm selfish and a bad person. So this doesn't get the reaction or response management wants. Now they bring out policy. They tell me it's against company policy to quit on a Friday. I know this is BS, but they don't really hand out policy books here, and HR is kinda, well, for contractors it's not a thing. Contractors are second-class workers with hardly any rights after all. Still, I'm leaving the company. How does this affect me? I tell them something to the effect that I'm the one quitting, I'm still going to leave on that Friday. Seriously, not sure how this was going in their mind. They doubled down that I had to work that next Monday for them. I think hoping to get their foot in the door, ruin my next job, etc. Well, this isn't working for them now, is it? They are really fuming now, so they give their ultimatum. If I won't work that Monday, then I'm to sign out and not clock back in until I have changed my mind. They are looking really smug. They are effectively threatening to fire me early, making me lose out on money and stuff. They know we don't have personal time off. Well, I also have no care at this point. My finances are fine. My new job I need a full suit for, so I guess I earned myself an unpaid vacation. I log out, they keep looking smug, leave me with another, remember, don't clock in until you've decided to be reasonable. The next day, I don't log in. A few hours later, I get a call screaming about how I'm late and I've caused so many problems. I cut them off saying I'm still not coming in on Monday, so per our meeting, I'm not to clock in. Silence. They ask if I'm serious. I ask if they were serious yesterday. They called me a pug-headed fool and tell me to just come in on Monday as they asked. Thought this was a demand? They then wait a moment and ask if I'm going to grow up and come back in. Well, I'm bored at this point and ask if they're going to pay my new rate on Monday. I get a confused no, and I tell them they have their answer. They called every day that last week, bouncing between apologies, insults, browbeating, etc., while still always standing on the "you need to come in on Monday." This was a whole week of them, sometimes multiple days, begging me to come in even part of the day to dig them out of holes, but then doubling down that, if you come in, that means you're coming back all the way through Monday, right? I'd already dropped off their equipment since I didn't need any of it at that point, even if I did finish my week. They even called on Monday to tell me I was fired for not showing up. I still think they thought I was joking or playing hardball for a promo raise. It's the only reason I have for all of that. Or they really thought I'd throw my new job away for them. They had a big focus on company loyalty that a lot of people seemed to buy into, so maybe they just assumed I'd be loyal. I did hear my old manager had to fill in for me as they couldn't get anyone to do my shift and jobs. And that now, months later, my manager and several others quit as everything is buckling. They promised more than they could deliver and drove off experienced temps like me. Wow, OP, that must have been a surreal experience, but it was fun to read. Thank you so much for sharing. Take care, OP. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.